Hi everybody, thanks for joining me again. We're going to talk today about automatic writing, and we are actually going to experience some automatic writing. I'm going to do some and you're going to try it too. First, let me self-promote myself though. I do have Facebook and Twitter, and I'd love to have you follow me there. Check out my website also, dboylemedium.com. I am at the present time writing a book on my channeled conversations with President Lincoln and with Jerry Hicks. So with doing that, I am also sending out letters to agents, and I know you wish me the best with that. So if you want to stay up to date on the book and my second book, which is going to be about past lives, follow me on these sites, my social media sites, or just check in every once in a while. That would be great. I'll know how that works. Okay, so automatic writing. Some people call it remote viewing. Some people call it speaking to your higher self. Some people call it left-hand, right-hand writing. So when I first started doing this sort of writing was on the advice of my therapist. It had to be at least 20 years ago, and he suggested it as left-hand, right-hand writing and speaking to your inner child to figure out some things. I wasn't doing any of this sort of work back then, any mediumship work or channeling, but my writing during that time was very powerful for me. Here's what I did. I had one pen and a piece of paper. It could be lined or it doesn't have to be lined. And what I did was ask a question with my dominant hand. For me, it was my right hand. I would ask a question. I'll make something up now. Hello, inner child. Can you tell me what you're thinking right now? And then I would switch pens to my left hand and just start writing. And hindsight, being 2020, back then, I was actually speaking to my inner self, my higher self, but I was getting some really great answers from my inner child. She would say things like, I'm not ready to share with you yet. You've never been present with me before, so why should I tell you now what you want to know? And I have pages and pages of that sort of journaling with my inner child. We all know this new era, 2015, this present moment consciousness, this shift of human consciousness, and the earth, which has already shifted, and we're just trying to catch up, that this time is very powerful with the inner work, and we know we really have to keep doing that inner work. So this is one good way of doing that. You can do this via left hand, right hand. You can also do it with two different color pens. I have with me today a black pen and a purple sort of pen. So if you want to pause right now and go grab something to write on and two different color pens, and we'll continue. I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, see you in a second. Oh, okay, we're back. So I'm going to use one pen and just use my right hand. You can do either two different color pens, or you can do right hand asking the question if that's your dominant hand, and left hand answering that question. Okay, so that's what you're going to be needing. Let's go through a couple more questions. Who are you actually speaking to? It really doesn't matter. Depends on what type of work you're doing. If you're doing inner child work, you're going to focus on your inner child. That could be a masculine or a feminine child. If you're doing really just basic questions, looking for guidance or answers from source, you could be speaking with your higher self. You could be speaking with some ascended masters. You could be speaking with your spirit guides. For this purpose, you don't really have to know that. All you need to do is be present with the thought pattern and the thought voice that's coming from you and out your hand. Okay? And you want to use your first thoughts. So that means letting go of everything else you're thinking about, leaving no room for doubt as you start writing, and also just trusting that it is coming from something higher than your 3D self, the person that's sitting here in front of me, in front of this computer screen. I think that explains it pretty well. You're going to go with the flow of what you're saying. When I do these sort of exercises in my classes, it's always very well received. People will be saying things that you're probably saying to yourself right now. Oh, I can't do that. Too much of myself, my ego is going to be answering the question. And what they come to find out is it doesn't happen. There is a flow from spirit, from source, from oneness, with the answer that you're looking for. Sometimes we do this exercise and we don't even see the question that we wrote. There could be 3 or 4 of us in a circle, and I will ask everyone to write a question on a piece of paper and fold it up and then hand it to me. And then what I'll do is hold up question and I'll say, okay, here's question number 1. And the people in the group will tune in to their higher self or source and just begin to write an answer based on what they see or what they hear. So you could actually draw a picture of something that you're seeing, or just write words, one word after another, or write sentences of thoughts that are coming to you. There's nothing good, bad, right, or wrong about what you receive from Source. We'll interpret it later, though, okay? All right, so we talked about the different color pens. Decide what you're going to use, and we are actually going to do that right now. So I'm going to ask each of you to take your pad and write a question on that pad, okay? First, let's do a little centering, all right? So sit up tall in your chair, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let it out with a sigh. Let's do 2 more. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out with a sigh, letting go of everything you brought before this moment. Last one, take a deep breath in. Exhale, softening the body and bringing your awareness just to your center, your core center. All right? Open your eyes and write a question. Could be any question. Could be just a basic question asking Spirit for some guidance in your life. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to write that question. Again, a simple question. I'm not writing a question. I'm going to answer your question by tuning in to Source. Okay? So once your question's answered, you can either switch pens or you can switch hands, and you're going to answer your question by tuning into Source. Okay? So just start writing, and I'm doing the same thing. Okay? So again, this is it was very quick. Here was my answer, and I'm going to read it. So what I did is I just tuned in. I tuned in to what Source was telling me. I don't have to see the question. I don't have to hear the question. It's just like I'm doing a reading. Sometimes I don't even have to hear the person ask a question. Spirit is already sending me the answer that you need. So all I did was just quiet my mind. I actually drew a blank in my mind, and I allowed them to come through with their words, okay? So I'm going to ask you for a minute just to listen to my answer, my words from Spirit, okay? So they said to me, peace. There is a great peace in your heart right now. You are connecting to it. Do not question, do not fear. Only trust. And then there was a big exclamation point. So those are the words for you guys out there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I wrote with my purple pen. It's a way to connect with yourself. So when you find those days where you aren't connecting with your inner self, You're not being guided by the intuition that you normally have, maybe, and you're feeling a little disconnected. Sit down, take out your pad, and just begin writing. You can start with a question, or you can start with just writing. But take the moment beforehand to take a breath or two, and then just feel the words as they start to come through you. Again, they could be just a picture, or they can be words, but use that. This is just another form of spirit communication, just like anything is, whether it's meditation, whether you're doing the Magic Dictionary, or doing a reading like I do, tarot card reading. Anything you do, you're connecting with Source. This is just one other way to connect with Source via automatic writing. Okay, if you have any questions, you can email me at dboyle.medium@yahoo.com. I'll put it down there for you. And be sure and like this video. It helps others who are maybe sitting on the fence, whether they're going to listen to it or not. That helps. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the views I'm getting on my videos. Be sure and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, email, send me your email, and I send out an email every season, and I'll also send out information on my books. Okay, so have a great day and good luck with your automatic writing. Bye, guys.